Hi, Alex. How are you?
Great, good. Good to be with you again.
Yes. We met in Miami, the energy of Miami. And of course, we're going to talk about it today, but we're going to talk about your company and everything that you do. But before we even start, maybe you can give us a little bit of a background about yourself, who you are, even before this company, so people will get the perspective about who you are.
Sure. I was born in the Ukraine, immigrated to Israel, grew up in Israel, went to the military, and then tried to do some entrepreneurship. This was before Israel was startup nation. So I had to actually go and try it in Europe, didn't work out so well, came to the United States, and that was like the land of opportunities, as they say. So I did 8 startups as a founder.
Wow.
Celsius Network is the latest one, and lucky for me, 3 of them are unicorns. So definitely got to basically be there in the beginning of the internet, work on voice of IP, worked on several other 5G technologies and other things. So a lot of it has to do with communications, infrastructure, and the kind of the common theme for all of my ventures is doing good and then doing well, right? So Celsius is a great example of that by effectively enabling millions of people worldwide to earn yield, create value for themselves, create path to financial independence. And none of that is possible if you work with a bank or a financial institution, right? They're definitely not acting in your best interest. So
Wow, amazing. And since when are you personally in crypto, this whole space? Because you're a real believer and you're a thought leader in the industry. And I saw you speaking in so many conferences. Since when are you in the business?
yeah, so I looked at Satoshi's white paper in 2009. I thought it was the dumbest idea. I called it the world's slowest database, and obviously I was wrong. After Mt. Gox, I realized that maybe I need to rethink my stand, because nothing can kill Bitcoin. It just keeps walking no matter what you do. So I definitely changed my direction, start digging into it and really understanding the importance of solving the double spend problem in the digital world, and the immutable way of the blockchain, the ledger, the fact that you have a limited supply in a world where everybody's just printing money. And in 2016, basically decided that the second killer app, the first one is obviously Bitcoin store of value, but the second killer app is going to be all about yield. And then launched with Daniel, Celsius Network in 2017. So the focus, our focus has been to kind of bring the next 100 million people into crypto. And we think that yield or interest income is the application that's going to convince hundreds of millions of people to come in. Some of them are interested in diversification away from their fiat currencies, away from their, where all their assets are denominated today. But everybody on the planet is looking to earn interest, right? So the base, the customer base is much greater, and that's what we hope is going to bring the second wave of adoption in crypto.
Yeah. And so what is your advice? We are a summit for everybody, and that's what I like about your company. It's so easy, right? To start and get yield on your service. So what is your advice for somebody who's watching us and maybe has some cryptocurrencies, has some Bitcoin? What is your advice for the future when we are seeing all these government printing money, as you said? Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, so scarcity, scarcity in the digital domain is like an oxymoron, right? Almost everything we create in the digital domain could be replicated, copied infinitely, and actually, the term "it went viral" is about replication. It's about the fact that a message or an image is hitting billions of people by replication. So creating a scarcity of digital assets, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum, is something that was actually very hard to do. It wasn't easy to do. And because of that, now that we solved the problem, we can basically create a financial system, a monetary system that acts in our best interest. The traditional fintech system or financial system that we use today is not really created for the people. Most of the value, if you look at the United States, we've printed over $7 trillion in the last year or two, and most of that value went to the 1%, not to the 99%. So we cannot rely on the traditional financial system to solve our problems. And instead of using politicians or using or trying to fix the old system, we have an opportunity to build something from scratch that acts in our best interest. And that's what Celsius is all about. That's what DeFi is all about. It's just that most people, again, 7.8 billion people on the planet, very few of them can master DeFi and understand smart contracts and all of the technology that's involved there. I would say 95% of the people are going to need someone to help them with that. And what Celsius creates, like you said, is a very simple interface, a wallet or a web app. You just move your assets and they immediately start earning yield. You don't need to know anything. You need to do anything. And our job at Celsius is to make sure that we keep you away from all the landmines, all the rug pulls, all the hacks, all the problems that exist in these new worlds, and keep you on a safe path. We manage over $17 billion for almost 1 million people. So that's more than any other DeFi project. And we've done that with an average yield that is higher than anybody else. We've paid more interest longer without any hacks than anybody else on the planet.
Yeah, and we have some of the other players on the summit, but I watched the data, and you're speaking the truth, actually, from what I'm seeing here. So it's quite.
And we have a very strong community. So some of our competitors spend hundreds of millions of dollars advertising and whatever. We spend all that money paying you higher yield. So we believe that the winning formula is not to brag about your investors or brag about what school you went to. The winning formula is to brag about how much you paid the community, and we've now paid over $700 million to our almost 1 million customers, which is again more than anybody else.
And the real stories of your customers. You have I don't know, personal stories to make this case even more personal. Do you get to hear like the feedback from people?
Yeah, I do a show every Friday. Today is Friday, so I'm gonna do my AMA in about 2 or 3 hours. And every week I publish my email. So people send me messages and directly, and you hear these stories of how you change people's lives, how you gave them freedom, how they could see a light at the end of the tunnel. Because if you can't make money on your money and you just have to work for your money, in most cases, you're just not going to make it to retirement, because what you're earning is being debased, devalued faster than you can basically get out of the hole. But if you attach yourself to digital currencies that has limited supply and scarcity, then your money makes money while you're sleeping. It makes money on the weekends. It makes money while you're working. And we publish on our website, Celsius.network, all of our top 500 holders.
Wow.
And most of those people are people that obviously were not millionaires. They became millionaires through Celsius because they hodled, because they basically did not sell. They kept their assets during the bear market, and they accumulated interest. They accumulated this yield, and it compounds, right? So today, many of those people, I mean, we share their stories every Friday. Many of them have financial independence, financial freedom, and that's really our goal. We're not trying to make you the world's richest person. We're just trying to make sure that you get to retirement without, again, landing on a landmine on the way because you took too much risk, or you entrusted this or that stock or whatever. So we believe in a diversified portfolio. You still need to own some stocks. You still need to have some real estate. But the point is that 10 to 20% of your assets should be in a digital form, in a currency that is detached from the dollar or from the yen or the euro. And that currency basically is does not have this infinite printing disease that the Fed and some of the other central banks are just infected with.
I tell you how it sounds from my end here. I'm interviewing here, and it sounds very much mature, the way you approach it. This interview, this whole interview, it sounds mature. It sounds like, I think maybe education. What we are doing here is educating people, and what you're doing, and even your idea of making the Friday, available for your community to support the people, to share these stories. I think that's maybe some people are here in this field are all obsessed about the hype, the ups and downs, and the articles, right? The media is playing a big role in this space. You probably can speak about it too. And I think what we need sometimes a little bit of maturity in this field to make people understand and think about the retirement, think about the long term, and not about the daily news that are taking you for this direction. Even I, like years ago, I used to be manipulated by the media, right?
Yeah, for sure. So again, a lot of the media articles are clickbait, right? They're trying to get you to trade, or they're trying to get you to take leverage, and all those things are very obviously very high risk. And we don't make money when you trade. We don't make money when you take leverage. We don't charge any fees. So Celsius itself only generates revenues when we create yield for you, because we take a piece of that and then you get to keep most of it. So the alignment of interest, instead of being on a counterparty, instead of being a neutral party, like maybe Coinbase is a neutral party, we're always siding with our community. I myself, I have over $300 million on Celsius. So I'm the largest user, single user of Celsius. And I built this product for myself. Now I just have 1 million people showed up and wanted a seat on the bus right next to me. So we are always looking at the best interest of the customers and the users. And that's what we focused on. So hodling has been a very good strategy, especially when you earn yield and it compounds. So if you believe in these assets long term, and again, you don't need, no one is telling you to allocate 100%. You should only risk what you can afford to lose. But having, like I said, 10 to 20% in a non-correlated asset, which happens to be the best performing asset in the last decade, would have done much more for you than all of your other assets put together.
Where do you think then this asset can go in the next, let's say, 5, maybe more years?
So if the central banks continue to print the way they print right now, I see Bitcoin going above $1 million, right? So Ethereum also is going to do very, very well. DeFi is kind of based on Ethereum. So I think those two, plus you should put some in the stable coin as well, so you can earn some yield that you can use to pay bills and everything else. And Celsius allows you to take a loan against that as well. So you don't have to sell your coins to pay your credit card or mortgage or anything else. So you can tap into that appreciation.
The loan will be against, like, it will be in dollars. I put my Bitcoin, I'll get a loan in dollars.
Yes.
Okay.
You go straight to your bank account, or you can take a stable coin and then convert it into whatever you need it to be. But so we have, again, hundreds of thousands of loans that we've issued, customers all over the world, and we charge only 1% for those loans. So you can't get that from your bank. Even there's no credit check, there's no employment verification, because we only lend against assets, so we don't need to do that. And obviously we've had 0 losses because we only lend against assets. So it's safe for the community and it's safe for you. We only do up to 50% loan to value ratio. Most of our loans are 25 or 33% LTV. So that is good for you and it's good for us, right? So because some people make money on defaults. They charge you liquidation fees and all kind of other stuff. We don't charge any fees. So we don't have an incentive to liquidate our customers. The opposite. We want you to be a customer for life and walk with us through this journey. I'm walking through that journey myself, right? I'm making sure that enough money for retirement, for plans. I have 6 kids, so I gotta make sure that they're covered, you know, and that's what it's all about. So I think we're at the beginning of that digital journey. Most of the people in the world have no clue what we're talking about, you and me. It's like it's a completely new idea. And our job is to educate most of them. If you want your coins to be more valuable, you're responsible not just to do an allocation for yourself, but also bring others, because it's the adoption that creates the value in Bitcoin or in Ethereum or anything like that.
Amazing, amazing. And I did understand the example about the loans, because I think that if I do have a situation in life when I need to I don't know, buy a house or buy a better car, then I'll still keep my Bitcoins, right? And I'll take a loan against it with you.
Yes.
And still allow myself to have that car that I wanted, that, you know, thing that I wanted. That's very smart. Yeah.
Yes. So you have both sides. You have the sides that creates a value, and you have the ability to tap into it and actually live your life. You don't have to be living on the edge and saving every dime. That's not what we're preaching. It's not like you know, the idea is to have a balance and have protection from these actions that I tweeted today that the chair of the Fed said that he said that the Bitcoin proved that it's not a good form of payment. And I tweeted saying the US dollar proved that it's a horrible store of value. So
yeah, that's true. It's completely true with everything that's going on. Alex, you know, a lot of people are watching us, not only your potential community next members, but also, you know, developers, also people. I know that you're hiring a lot, and you already convinced me, like, I think this is the perfect pitch. If I was a very high level developer and I would ask you about, you know, your vision for this company, you just answer most of my questions, right? Like about the developers today, they want to understand what kind of a company they're entering, right? So it's more than just the money opportunity and everything else. It's more like, what does the company do?
yeah, so our mission is to unbank the banked and use that to bank the unbanked, right? So we're helping the rich people, but we're also using that value that we're creating in helping the poor people, bring hundreds of millions of people into the middle class. And again, this is a community organization. We're similar to Costco, right? Where we have, just instead of a warehouse full of products you can put in your cart, we have financial products. But the mission of the company is to do good and then do well. And it's okay to do well, but you first have to do good. And unlike many projects that are focused on Ethereum or focused on Cardano or focused on Polkadot, Celsius supports 14 different blockchains. So when you come to Celsius, you can work on Bitcoin, you can work on, like we just announced a partnership with Horizon. We did a zero proof knowledge cryptography project with Horizon, which is a whole another chain that does amazing stuff. So we constantly innovate, and we have now over 400 employees. So we constantly allow people to experiment and do hackathons and collaborate with different projects. So we work with Polygon, we work with Chainlink, we work with Litecoin, and so on, so on. So I think there's a lot of opportunities, and Celsius, unlike almost every other company, is neutral and does not pick winners or losers. You don't have to. We don't get married with buying a smart chain or with Solana. We support all of those, but you get to choose as a customer. You get to choose the asset you believe in. Our job is just to generate yield on that. And if you chose Solana, great. If you chose Bitcoin, that's fine too, obviously. And we continue to do what we do.
Amazing. And let me ask you, how fast can you bring out these new features? How fast is your team, the development, the developers? How fast are you launching new tools to help this community?
it's never fast enough for the CEO, but if you talk to the technical team, they'll tell you, oh, we're working harder than any other company. So Celsius is not on we don't like to be on the bleeding edge. I think you see a lot of projects iterate on code that is a week old. And we don't like to do that. I think there's too much risk for our community with that. So we normally would not be on the bleeding edge, we would be on the cutting edge, and we would want to see things seasoned. So we want to see code that is at least 6 to 12 months old, all the hacks, all of the scams already been kind of like exposed, and then we can use that to build on, right? So if it's layer 2, we waited to kind of see, okay, is it optimism? Is it Polygon? Is it something else? So we're not jumping into and trying to pick winners day one. And in most cases, we will support several solutions and enable our community to choose where they want to work, where they want to scale, and all that stuff.
Amazing. I'm hoping to have, of course, more interviews during the summit. It's an exciting, opportunity with this company and everything that you guys are doing. I'm very much obsessed since I met you like in Miami, and I saw all the energy, and I saw that you were meeting some of your community members and heard the stories. I think it's amazing, and your leadership in educating and the fact that you're there for the community, it's amazing. And I just want to see more of that, and I want to be up to date with everything that you're launching and doing. It's amazing.
Yeah, Miami was a great example. While everybody was busy trying to go on stage and talk to everybody else, we were at the booth. We met over 5,000 of our community members. We gave them shirts, we gave them swag, and we celebrated with them, because many of them, again, their lives have changed. The stress that they lived through kind of went away, and they came to share it with us, right? They wanted to hold your hand, they wanted to take a picture. So that's much more important for us than getting on stage and trying to convince people that you're the smartest guy in the room.
Yes. Thank you very much, Alex. Enjoy the summit. Stay here. People will probably really want to network with you and the whole team. Great work, really. Thank you.
Thanks for having me again, and thank you for the work you're doing, because, again, continuing the education, expanding the knowledge is of growing this community. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we're totally together in this. Thank you very much, and enjoy the summit.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.